Hello everybody and welcome back to Better Minecraft. Now, excuse me if I sound a little bit tired. My family's Thanksgiving happened over the weekend. So I am still kind of reeling from all of that. I am truthfully very introverted. So being in big social gatherings like that or having a lot of people around really drains me. And honestly, my voice is still recovering just a little bit. But we are here, we are back in the world. You'll notice that the grapes I used for the thumbnail in the last video are gone. That's because somebody else left an episode that, or comment on the last episode that's a little bit better than what I had here. I'll get to that later. That's going to be at the end of the episode. But I do have an idea now to actually fill the spot. Our first part to this episode is going to be to get the viner, like the whole building in place. That's gonna be the big building that's gonna go right here. And I want to have like maybe a cart piece right here where there's gonna be like a big set of doors right here where they can get carts in and out through this area from the actual dock side. So yeah, I've got to go grab some materials to at least try to start getting the bottom floor in place. And then we can work on getting the actual, like, vinery stuff going and things of that nature. Okay. Probably one of the weirder shaped buildings I've made. There is a little bit of, like, a hallway space here. Back here, I'm going to do some piping out the back of the building. That's actually going to go into... I don't know how to describe it. They typically keep these things interior to the buildings, but in order to give more life to the exterior of the building, I'm going to move them outside. But most breweries have like these giant contained vats. If I can find a picture, I'll throw it up on screen. If not, you're just gonna have to stick with the vision of giant vats out the back. Hi, crab. Hi. They're not going to be open. They're going to be fully contained, kind of like our silos on the other side, except these are going to be straight copper. I'm not going to make them like, or maybe I can do like a silver block or just something of that nature. Or maybe even some iron blocks or something like that. No, because iron weathers now. So I'd have to use silver. That's fine. But I'll figure out something to do back here. I just want to create some like vat structures. I don't actually have the create mod in this series. I would love to have that because that would probably help this look a lot more authentic, but I don't have that, so it's just gonna have to stay this way. Also, this is our loading bay. I did a small little transition into the area. I'm probably gonna have like 2 carts in here with some goods on it, maybe some grapes on one and maybe some wine barrels on the other. But there's going to be some carts in here. This is going to be the transition phase. And then for a small structure up here at the front, there's going to be a little bit of a counter and probably like a gate like right here to allow employees to get to the back because that's where they're going to be making everything. And then the counter up here for people to come in and order bottles, things of that nature. So that's my idea with the building. I'm going to bring you guys in kind of like how I did last time where I finish a piece of the structure and then I'm going to come back to it. So right now I'm going to mainly work on this piece of the structure. Because this is the one I have the main idea for. So I'm going to start here and then work my way through the entire rest of the building. Okay, popping back in for just a second. I have now finished the walls on this room. So this is just the little entryway where they pull the carts in. This is, of course, a giant door that theoretically would not actually open like this. Would actually probably pull this entire doorway open. But this is Minecraft. We do have limits. I also don't have create, so I can't make fancy, really big opening doors. So that's what we're working with. Also, down here is going to be like the actual storage room. Like, a lot of times with casks of any fermented alcoholic beverage, it needs to be fermented in a cooler, dark space, which is typically below ground, especially during older times where they didn't exactly have like refrigeration or like internal uh, thermostats or anything. They typically stored it below ground or even buried it so that it would ferment better. So I'm now going to make a room below ground, so this is a more consistent temperature than up here. Because quick science lesson, heat rises. Many people know this. If you have like, I believe I learned that back in like elementary school. Whenever you're learning the states of matter and stuff like that, they tell you that heat as a gas rises. So below ground, it's going to be drastically colder. In general. Also, I want to collect all of this. But yes, this will be the actual big storage room for everything. I'm going to actually turn this into an actual staircase, stuff of that nature. And then this, I have this marked out with the stone tiles currently. This is not going to stay the stone tiles. This entire room is going to be wooden. It's going to have like the normal wooden counters I have everywhere else. Just, I'm marking out where it's going to be so I could figure out where I want to put this staircase. There's actually going to be a counter about right here or here. I'm trying to debate, do I want to make this counter smaller or do I want to make this walkway smaller? Because right now the counter has to sit. I'm trying to debate if I want the counter to sit like 1 block away or 2 blocks away. I feel like we can make it 1 block away and it worked perfectly fine. Because there's also going to be like another wall of like bottles and like storage stuff over here. So I think 1 block away would be perfectly fine. That's just mainly here to hide the staircase that goes downstairs. And that's where the vats and stuff are going to be pumping to, is down here, which is the reason I haven't really textured this wall or anything. I need to figure out where those metal pipes are going to go. Real quick, I am going to get the counter and wood stuff in over here. And then I need to get in what I've been describing to you guys over here. So that I know how the rest of the area kind of needs to set up. Okay. Luckily, due to these things being the size of a full block, they will actually take up a full wall spot in order to do. Now, I did have plans to do 3. And I kind of want there to be... Okay. Not exactly the vibe I was going for. I'm going to end up doing like a smaller platform outside of this, probably with the same cobblestone brick to kind of frame them. But instead, I made it look like the pipes are just moving things down into much bigger vats beneath the ground. There are just random blocks in here that have good color to them. This one is like a rod that I found in the nether. This is from the end, and then this, of course, is honey from the overworld. And this is actually iron. These are waxed, so they shouldn't be causing an issue. They shouldn't be weathering. And then these have bars across them. I'm gonna be honest, I fiddled with this for what feels like... Hold on, I can actually check my phone and look. About 35 minutes. Round about, probably more, but 35 minutes from the last time I looked at my phone. So, to say that took a while is an understatement. I tried going with 5,000 different variants, some with copper, some with silver, some with iron, and I just didn't like the look of any of them. The pipes are too close together for me to do really anything with them. And with the size of the building, I can't spread them out any further either. So I'm just kind of stuck with them being this close together, but it's kind of irritating. Now I am going to do a little bit of a decorative inside. I'm going to follow what the pipes are actually making and then put like some sneak peeks into the pieces that are behind them. Maybe do some plate iron specifically on this wall. And then frame it with the same cobblestone brick that we're going to have everywhere else. But right now, my main goal is to get the exterior of the building in. It wasn't necessarily to get the whole interior going. That took much longer than it was supposed to. I just landed in a sweet potato bed. Okay, and there we go. The building itself is done. Now, this one isn't 2-story. It is just a 1-story building. Well, technically it's 2-story if you count the basement structure. But this one is just 1 story tall. I'm not going to make it too terribly tall. It is just 1 story. Because mainly this place is just the place where they make the wines and things. This isn't the place where they typically sell them. Although they do have like a storefront area, this is mainly the place where they're making everything. So there's that. Now, quickly before the video ends off, I'm going to do a little bit of sprucing up here on the outside. So that means I'm going to be doing some pathing. I'm going to be re-putting in the grapes that were over here in over here. And then figuring out where this path is actually going to go back here so that it actually makes some sense. And there we go. The vinery is back in place upon being moved from there to there. I am going to be putting in leaves and stuff around it. It's going to end up mashing with all of these things up here. I'm going to end up doing that around the edges, which is the reason I didn't do it like this side where I brought it all the way up to the edges. This one, I gave it a little bit more breathing room because areas like this and around the doorway are going to have more leaves and things around them to really help close this area off a bit more. Same on this side, I left a bit of space open. Of course, this is going to get a stone buffer around it before I put leaves and other storage things over here. So there is that. That is our vinery area. Now, next episode, we're going to be working in on this. We're going to be narrowing down on this. We're going to be working on finishing up any other projects. That video is going to be a lot longer because I'm going to be spending all of, well, tomorrow when this video goes live, it's going to be tomorrow, but Wednesday, I'm going to be spending the day working on this world and the fantasy world, getting them caught up to where I can actually function in them again. Because I haven't touched the stuff due to the holiday. I've been spending time with family or just running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I have not been working on any of this. I've been playing Minecraft basically in other mod packs, trying to figure out what I'm going to do after the series ends, that sort of thing. Speaking of which, the next version of Better Minecraft, I just saw that it was out on CurseForge, so I need to go find it. This time I'm going over to the actual CurseForge version, so it's not going to be the fabric version. So hopefully I can get certain mods to work right, because right now I'm functioning on a fabric version of Better Minecraft. So any of the mods I download just aren't working quite correctly or the way they're supposed to. So I'm going to take some time and work on all of that, but that is where the actual voice version of this video is going to end. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!